You are making the biggest mistake of your life by minimizing your blessings, by overlooking your blessings, by just walking around like you're not blessed. And the reason you're doing so is because you have already told yourself in your mind that your blessing is going to come in a certain way. You've said to yourself, you know what, this is how my blessing has to be presented. This is how my prayer has to be answered. And if this is not the standard or even better, then how can I recognize it as a blessing? And I think that sort of mindset has now made many of us walk around thinking that we are not blessed. That is sad. Let's unpick it. Let's start by defining what a blessing is. And I think this is important because I don't think that we actually understand what a blessing is. If anyone would have walked up to me and asked me, what is a blessing? I don't think I would have been able to successfully give an accurate answer because I know how it's supposed to look like. I know what a blessing is. I know what I mean when I say I want to be blessed, or when I bless someone else, or all that, or when someone blesses me. I know what that means. I know how that is supposed to unfold, but to like really define it, I don't think I would have been able to. But thank God we have Google Matsotsoke, and I went straight to Google and I typed what is a blessing, and this is what Google had to say. Guys, Google has a lot of definitions, but this was my takeaway, and I think it's enough for us to really like unpack this thing that I'm talking about. So Google said a blessing is God's favor and God's protection. Short and sweet. Short and sweet. And I think that is a definition that I want to run with in this sort of video, like this discussions video that I'm putting out. And the reason why I want to talk about this really is because I think this has been a struggle also for me personally, to really think of myself as someone who is blessed because of my personal struggles, because of where I am in life, right? I'm not at a place that I thought I would be, especially at this age. I was someone who was a big dreamer. I still am. I dream big, but I think like having to be 27 and look at my life and be like, this wasn't part of the plan, this wasn't, kind of sometimes makes me feel like, where's God's favor? Where is God? Why am I here? And that's the reason why, I'm making this video, to say, hey, God is still there. God is still favoring you. God is still blessing you. And if anything, like, he'll never stop doing it, right? And I think the second reason I did this is because I find myself empathizing a lot with people who are also in the same or similar situation, where they're looking at themselves and they feel like because their life is where it is, nothing is really happening. They're putting their A game, but then, nothing is really like materializing as of yet. They become so discouraged and depressed because they feel like, what, where's God's favor? Where's God's hand? And I think the other type of people that I sympathize with, and this is looking at yourself and saying, people that look at themselves and say, hey, I'm not blessed, but I understand why I'm not blessed. I'm not blessed because I messed up. I'm not blessed because I made that bad decision, and because I'm not perfect, because I constantly keep like continuously messing up, and I can't ever get it right. And you know what? That's why I'm not blessed. And the reason why these two sort of people, or these two mindsets, or the sentiments, these two sentiments are just things that I sympathize or empathize with, is because I understand how that can impact a person in seeing and viewing themselves as being blessed, right? So yeah, you are blessed. And this is me trying to get my mind back to what I'm trying to say. You are blessed even if you're a mess. You are blessed even if you are, even if you made that decision. This is what I wanted to say. I'm at a place in my life right now, like I said, not where I wanted to be. I thought at this age I'd be married, I'd be very far in my career. I studied operations management, and in my mind I thought, I'm going to start my own thing. I'm going to start my own thing. I'm going to be an entrepreneur or a business person. But for starters, I'm probably just going to get experience like in a firm, in just have like that corporate experience before I like have my own thing. That was one of the plans. Had a lot of things, YouTube, but I've always been someone who's always like, okay, I'm gonna be big. And then now I'm here. If I tell you, none of the plans that I had about my career have materialized. If not anything, they haven't even begun. Like I haven't even started. And every time I start, I just feel like I just cringe because just like maybe this video, I'll look back and be like, you know what I mean? I thought I was going to be far with my career. I thought I was going to be married. I thought I'd probably have like 2 kids now. Probably have like a car and a property. I'd be helping the poor. And it's not funny, but like I'm laughing because I'm the one who's being helped out. And I thought at this time I'll be the person who's like reaching out and doing, this great work. I thought it was going to be a success, and I'm not that as of yet. And because of that, I'd look at myself and say, yeah, it's because when Amos you were fornicating. It's because when you have a child now. So like, why would God bless you? Why would God, really show up for you like that if you were so quick to like sin? And like guys, this issue with sin, or this issue of just, not being right, has always been an issue with me. Even when like I stopped fornicating, I never felt like I'm doing it right. I've never felt like I'm just this holy person and all that, but that is a different topic. My point is, it took me actually having to understand that, no man, that's not how God's blessings work. That's not how God's blessings work. Obviously we all not going to be blessed the same way, but it doesn't mean that we're not going to be blessed. I believe in my heart of hearts that we are all blessed. I believe that God, in His mind, created us and blessed us. And I think what I'm trying to do in this video, or what I'm attempting to do, is to make people search for those blessings because they're there. It doesn't mean now that because you've messed up and because maybe you're like me, you're not where you want to be in life, and then also you get into like this rabbit hole of blaming yourself and just seeing yourself unworthy of the blessing altogether. It doesn't mean you're not blessed. So yes, this is how we counter all that and how we deal with the devil's lie, right? Is in what? Searching for that blessing. So that is what I want to say in today's video. Guys, let us identify the blessings. I'll start. I am blessed, meaning that I have God's favor and God's protection because I'm healthy. Look at me. Look at skin. Look at body. I'm sitting up straight. Everything is intact. I'm blessed. And this is not to say that we all have the same blessings, mind you. You have to search for yourself what it is that God has blessed you with. And even if it's hard, search for it. And I'm saying this deliberately because I know there are people who are battling with health issues. There are people who are battling with relationships. There are people who are battling with grief, and it becomes so difficult in whatever situation that you might be battling with. It might be so difficult for you to be like, hey, actually, I'm blessed. I'm saying this because of that. But identify, again, I'll say identify, like search, make it an intentional decision in your head to say, okay, I'll sit down with my pen and my book and write down what is it that shows that God has favored me and God is protecting me. Trust me, you'll find something. And when you find that, meditate on it. Sit down and be like, thank you, Lord, for this blessing. I'll go again. I have a son. He's healthy. He's a happy child. He is happy. He's unproblematic. I love him. And yeah, that's another blessing. I have a family. I have friends. In this situation that I'm in life, like I'm unemployed, I find myself being helped a lot by my friends. I don't want to say friends like a lot of people, because literally maybe just one or two. Yeah, literally just one friend. He knows himself. And my family, my mom being the biggest pillar in my life right now. And they help me month in, month out. They help me to survive because, I'm not able to like fend for myself right now. That is a blessing. I cannot overlook that I have those relationships and those kind of people in my life that I can reach out to for support and help, especially financially, What else? I can go on and on, guys, but I don't want the video to be long. And why is it important, guys? Why is it important that we have these conversations and remind ourselves and remind each other of such things? Why is it important for you to count your blessings? I'll tell you. It is so important for you to count and to acknowledge your blessings so that you are able to live a better quality of life. When you walk around with the mindset of, oh no, I am not blessed, I don't have favor, I am not seeing the hand of God in anything that I do, you sulk. That is enough reason to be depressed. What are you happy about if you're walking around feeling like you're not blessed? But here's the thing, if you count them, if you are intentional about recognizing those blessings, they show up even more, and you tend to like now lean more onto, the knowledge of the blessings, and then you become happier, you're more appreciative, the energy that you release is, positive, and it adds to the quality of your life. And that is the reason I find that we do so much damage to ourselves and our mindset by thinking negatively, and always chasing after something like, and if I do not need this, then it means I'm not blessed. And I've just found that has just impacted us so negatively. And what I just spoke about today is a way to like counter that. It is a way to just be like, hey, let's kick out the negativity and add in the positivity. And I'm not just saying this because, for the sake of it. I'm saying it because it works. I'm saying it because I've seen it work for me. I've seen the change in my day when I'm grateful, when I'm counting my blessings, when I'm recognizing that, hey, actually, I'm a blessed person, and also when I also think to myself, hey, there are some people who can't walk. There's some people like there's a video I was watching, videos actually, that I was watching, and I was just like, some people's living conditions are so bad, and yet they still smile, and yet they still are the most happiest people. What is my reason, all that I have, even if to me it's not where I want to be in life? I can go on and on and on and on about this, guys, but let me just cut it here. I hope you heard and you received in good spirit what I'm trying to say. Please try this exercise. You will not go wrong. You will not regret it. I love you so much, and Jesus loves you more.